I'm Amy from the Natomas Garden Arts Club, and I'm here to show you a presentation I put together for our meeting on the 28th of January, which was wonderful fun, but we didn't get to the presentation. So I'm recording this bits of information and resources that as an amateur gardener, I have put together for the benefit of the Natomas Garden Arts Club membership. So if you have things to add or questions to ask, my contact information will be at the end of the presentation. So without further ado, I will share my screen. First of all, right off the bat, I want to give a big shout out to Margaret Blanchfield Cervantes. This picture that you see here, the frame, is from her Facebook painting classes that she does every other Friday. And she has her old classes archived so that you can access them, and they're wonderful fun, and I've learned so much from her. But I encourage you all to check out her Facebook page, buy something from her, hit her virtual tip jar, but definitely show support for local artists with that. And so, okay, so what seedlings need? Seedlings don't need much. Seeds were made to grow. They need warmth, and they need a place to grow some soil, and they need some moisture. What I have found over my experience is that the thing that the seeds need most is fresh air and good airflow. What I do is I water my seedlings from the bottom up. So I'll put the container in a tray of water and let the growing medium soak the moisture up, and then I'll let it dry out quite thoroughly before I water again. You want them to have sunlight so they don't have to stretch up and get leggy looking for the sun. But other than that, yeah, don't make them too damp where they will mold at the right where the stem hits the soil. They'll get moldy, and then they just fall over and die. Not a good thing. So moisture enough, but not too much moisture on that. And this is what I found in 2020, one of my interesting discoveries. But this is coir. Coir is a product made from coconut husks, and it is sold in a brick, and it's a solid brick of material that you add 2 quarts of water to it, and it will, you don't have to stir it around and pick at it like I'm doing here, but you just put 2 quarts of water in and leave it, and it will bloom. It will absorb the moisture and become 8 quarts of a growing mixture that's quite a bit like peat. It's a moisture absorbent. So you would have fertilizer of some sort to nourish the plants, but it's fun and it's interesting and it's new, and I thought I'd just share my experiences with you. I'll show you, there's another clip a little later on where you can see what it looks like when it's finally done. But this is me and my adventure in the land of coir in 2020. You can see it was a little bit warmer out. It was summertime, but anyways, let's move on so we can get through this. So seeds are one way to propagate plants, but there are many other ways to propagate plants. Softwood cuttings, when you take a slice off of a plant, and for instance, this plant here, let me stop my share for a second so you can see this. But this is a plant that I sliced a little branch off, and I stuck the branch in the water, and I just kept it in the water, and it sprouted some roots, and then that's ready to be put into the soil and ready to be another plant again. So let's continue on with our presentation. Let's make sure I want to make sure that you can hear that. Okay, So, all right, so continuing on, this picture here is of a spider plant, and everyone knows that the spider plants, or maybe you don't, but spider plants send out these tendrils, and at the end of the tendril is a little baby plant, and that little baby plant will send roots into anything, any dirt that it finds. And what I did was I just stuck a pot of dirt underneath it, and lo and behold, that it could clip that little tendril now. It's really handy because there's nutrients there to give the plant moisture or water and nutrients while it's establishing its own root system. And then I got this killer idea. I got this plant from Angela Laws from the Circe Society gave it to me. It's a milkweed, it's a pollinator, and I want to inspire and encourage people to grow pollinators for our community. But I planted marigolds in my tomato garden, and at the end of the season they had fallen over, and where the stems lay along the soil, they had sent roots. So I thought, well, maybe I could deliberately do this, and so I encouraged the branches of the milkweed plant into the soil with a paper clip, and lo and behold, they sent roots down. So I have all these little baby milkweed plants here. So plants just want to grow. You really just have to give them enough room and enough soil. As a matter of fact, these are bulbs that I took from my front yard. And this is a volunteer plant that grew up. Don't know the name of it, but it's got a really beautiful, like iris-like flower. But these are freesias and I think grape hyacinth. And they will actually grow better if I give them more space to grow. So each one of these buckets of little bulbs could probably plant, you know, a good 5 foot by 5 foot, 4 foot by 4 foot garden. So, and this one right here, this poor guy is my aloe vera, and you can see the pot is just this big. And here's the mama plant, and the mama plant kind of toppled over, and all these little guys here are growing up from the roots. And all I need to do is separate them into their own pots and they'll flourish. So let me show you that process here.
So here we go. I'm going to do some rooting of some plants that just want to grow. And what I have is an ice plant that I found in my neighbor's garbage waste pile.
Hello.
And then I have that big aloe vera that was overgrowing its buckets. So I'm going to separate them at the root ball, and I'm going to use for the cuttings on the ice plant, I'm going to use this rooting hormone, and the rooting hormone is the same that you would use for a hardwood cutting. So what you're going to need besides that, I'm going to use a knife to help get a nice cutting for the ice plants. The aloe vera, I use the knife to get that guy out of the pot, but other than that, I'm just taking off sections with a nice bit of root, and then getting them nice and comfortable in a pot.
They were their own little plants.
Here,
I just needed to give them a pot.
and then I have the coir, the growing medium.
The coir.
Just to cinch them in and give them a nice home. I imagine that out of this pile of one plant from my yard and one plant from my neighbor's garden waste pile, I should be able to get 20 or 30 nice plants out of it for gifts or for a yard sale. I encourage you to separate your root balls, to take softwood cuttings. Plants just want to grow.
Silly me. All right, so separate your root balls, make your cuttings. Plants just want to grow. This is what I got. I got 18 plants, and I'm not even done with them because these are the pieces of the plant that fell off, and I enlarged this one because you see every single one of these wants to be another plant, a separate plant. And right here, this root cluster that's in this bucket right here, you can see at least 10 or 15 independent plants. This is like the all these aloe vera plants had established roots on them. So, and mama plant is much happier, much happier. I ran out of pots, so I could do another 18 plants. I really could. So this is how to do a hardwood cutting, a lot more reading on it because you have to take between the first and the second years of growth, and then you want to get the bud tips that have the growing energy in them. But it's all in the slideshow if you want to look that over, and well as the references that I use to put this together, gathering my information off of the web. Green Acres Nursery there at the bottom is where I bought the pots, and it's where I found to buy the cheapest terracotta pots around. Yeah, and Miraday Mobile Nursery. Look at their website. They're here, there, and everywhere. But you can get good native pollinator plants there from them. And this is my information here. NatomasGAC.org is our website. My email, atokuhama@natomasgac.org. The information is also on our website for my contact information. This presentation here should be uploaded to the website or the social media soon. So let me stop my share and let you guys all know how grateful I am for you guys to come to the meetings, watch the videos, share, like, all that good stuff. But I'll see you the next time. Thanks a lot.